Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining the stream or the video, whichever way it is for you. Hope you're having an excellent day. I'm going to be going back into my little Twitchbot game, Idle Thought. I did some work, not recording, off stream, off camera, however you want to call it. And the majority of it was just kind of refactoring to get the different things separated from the one index source file, so it'll be easier to fix stuff for each of the things. But basically I wanted to make a physics system, and I didn't really get much farther than this. There's a vector2 class, and I'm going to make a physics class, and I'm going to refactor these guys to be classes instead of just functions. I was just going old school because, you know, I learned JavaScript when there weren't classes. So you just made objects using function, and ta-da, you had objects. But one thing that I mean, JavaScript classes really are still just objects. The constructor will run, you set x and y, so new vector2, open parentheses, an x coordinate, a y coordinate, close parentheses, and then you have an object that has an x and a y set to those. But if you say vector2 dot distance a and b, as long as these two objects have an x and a y value, it'll calculate the distance between them. It doesn't care if it's actually a vector2 or anything else. I mean, the neuros, they have an x and a y. The dendries, they have, well, they don't. They actually have an x1, a y1, an x2, and a y2. So you couldn't just pass it to dendries and say what the distance is. And that kind of makes sense because the dendries are basically lines. They're not just a spot somewhere. They're a line between two places. So the distance between a line and another line, there isn't one distance. That's kind of a function, and yet no, probably not going to need that. And I don't think physics are actually going to operate on the dendries. But one thing I might do is refactor the dendries and the neuros, and maybe even the particles, so that they have vector2 or position instead of a .x and a .y. But it doesn't change much. But anyway, I have all the sparkles, and these guys are just growing as time goes on. I think it's a point every roughly 10 seconds. And yeah, I think I like that for the rate at which you get points. and then I think maybe you get 10 points when you chat. Still have to make that connection, but I've been looking around Twitch a lot more. And while one of the purposes of this system was to let me know how many people are actually in the chat, because it's not easy to see that in OBS. I mean, the chat's there, but it doesn't show the same thing as the web view, where it has the person and how many people are there. It only has the chat part, and then the main screen also doesn't show anything like that. So in order to see how many people are on the chat, or when people show up or when people go away, I need some other method. And this was one of the methods, and I thought it'd be fun to make it a game as well. And then I thought, well, the game might be fun just all by itself. And well, now I think, okay, so all you have to do to play is join it. And so instead of doing let me get into the main site. Actually, no, that's not where it would be. It would be in Server.js. So I haven't. All right, here we are. Oh, I also fixed whispering. I don't know if I mentioned that in the last stream or video, but if you whispered to the bot, it would fail to respond, because it would try to send a message directly to whoever talked. And bots on Twitch are not allowed to whisper. It is a function that they specifically did not want to endorse. So if you whisper to the bot responds in the channel. And that makes it all the more important that I put the username of whoever sent the command in the response, because if it was just the word you instead of this value of you, which is set over here, context display name, then anytime somebody rolled something, you could also whisper the bot to get a d20 roll, and then they get 2 rolls, and which is theirs, and cause all kinds of confusion. Not that it matters, because I don't think I'm going to need this at all, but it's good to have around to make sure that the bot's running. So it shows up here. Yeah, I like it. So in the message handler, I should put in the command. Join. And what do I do from there? So what this needs to do let's see. So we need to add the player to the player list. And we do have a player array. No, the player array is on the client side. So we're in the server side. But so here, instead of adding it to an array, we add it to the database, which we need to look in SQLite and the old example was async vote. So the old example was process vote, and the vote would be one of the values from the list. Anyway, and so we have get logs, we have clear history, and we have nothing else. I mean, we do have dump chat log and log chat. So the log currently just logs every chat that's there. Plan is to have a regular cleaning to remove old chats. But this would allow a chat window on my screen to show the last several chats, even if I've closed things and come back to it later. If you go to another channel on Twitch and then you come back, your chat screen is completely cleared, and this would let me still have the last several chats instead of it being completely cleared. At least that would be on my screen. And it might help for moderating issues that I hope I never have to deal with, but I probably will at some point. So, let's see. I mean, it's not late at night, so those loud noises can happen, but my internal monologue says, "Hey, dude, your muffler's broken. You should get that fixed." Before we add a player, we should check if the player is already in the database. So we should get player. Async. So all right, the Twitch ID is the username. Subscriber false. Oh, right. Because I'm not a subscriber. I am just... Oh, wait. I'm just a follower. That's it. I mean, I guess I could send myself some money. How many subscribers do I have? Oh, as many as I want to create new accounts for. And take money out of my account to send it to me. And Twitch, apparently. I don't know how that works yet, because, well, you gotta make a certain level, gotta get a certain number of people before you can play with that kind of thing. So, that comes later. But, it's my color. But that's neat. Okay. Let me go back to server.js and mention that. My big explanation is set by user for their user name display color. Yeah. Okay. Back to database. So when they join, this message will be join. And well, this message here will be join. And we get all of this information to do whatever we want with, actually. I don't know what user ID is. I created the player database. Yes, I have. Twitch ID, text primary key. Which I think I'm just going to use the username. The problem is I don't have let me see. Yeah, I don't have a way to get the Twitch account out of all of this Twitch chat system. But with the username, I should be able to pull it, but I don't know exactly how. Like, I guess that'll be a problem for later, but I had put the icon here. Let me just grab that. Won't look at that so much. Get a single player. Call it username. I can't even play with channel points until I get, I think it was 50 followers and an average of 3 viewers per stream. So we do need to try and catch. What? Why do you have a problem? Oh. That. Yes. I haven't gotten there yet. Okay. Stop bothering me with the errors. Okay. All right, so if I return the player that just joined, wait, I'm having a mix problem between thinking client side and thinking server side in my head. It's just I gotta think it through. Because get players that we have down here, somewhere. Or, I mean, the dump chat log works. It just selects all and returns it. And that is... server side, and it dumps the... it dumps the response to the client as a JSON. So but for this, we want the server side to see if the player is there. If it is, we update it. If it is not, we create it. Which sounds like an SQL side thing where I could just tell it update or create. Nobody asked for voice. Just go. Silly thing. Okay, so I can replace into and then not have to worry about that. So join will always make a new player, but since you can try to join as many times as you want, it's just going to overwrite your single entry into the list. That makes sense. So new player. So I need all of these things. Actually, I'm going to skip last active because that's going to be automatic. I mean, I could be punishing and you can join, but it's going to wipe your score out. I don't like that. I want some aspects of this data to remain between sessions, you know? Wish I could make this part narrower. I could make the whole screen smaller because I'm zoomed in pretty far, but it's both for my eyes and the stream. So, wait. Nope. I mean, I could do that. Then it's kind of hard to, no, I'll leave it there. Okay. So, B. I did it earlier, somewhere in here. It's up here. JSON.stringify. How do I make a new player run? Back over here. Join. And we will just let D equal db dot new player. I called it new player. Context. What's your name? What did I put in the other one? What else did it need? We'll just say username for now. That should work. Okay, that's still working. Now, get our logs. Yeah, hiccups. They're always fun. Connected. Let's try join. Errors, of course. No such column, AlderinGames. Right. I need more info on what I can select and how. Select star from database where select star from players where source condition. Where like between and equals. Oh, I didn't quote it. That could be part of it. There we are. Twitch ID equals quote and end quote. That might make it work. Join. Unknown command. Join. J-O-I. Wait. But it. Uh, let's go back over here. Join. Oh, I didn't return. So it should have done everything. And then but that's not, that doesn't, oh, aha. Because all the DB things are async commands. So this ran, and then it just kept going, and it checked if the command was D20, and it wasn't. And then we had an else, unknown command. So what I should do is refactor this into a switch case. Let me just verify. See, the trouble with knowing a whole lot of languages, yeah, full strings are acceptable. The trouble with knowing a whole lot of languages, I know switch case in C and C++ and possibly many other languages don't work on strings. They work on integers. And so if you're trying to make a switch case thing, you got to make sure that it'll actually do what you're talking about, what you're thinking. Case. Why are you doing that? That. Ends up with our switch. Yes. That goes to the async on message handler. That doesn't have a pair. Let's switch. Should be that else, yes. And the if here, yes. Okay. I think we're good again. Alright, let's go down to the end. First, make sure our D20 still works. I rolled a 3. Woo. Now if we join, we don't have an error. And we have an empty, which means that on this end, select star from players, where Twitch ID is username. It's an empty array. So what I should be able to say is if player.length equals 0, you insert. I'll just comment for now. What's your name? Yeah. The user person. It should be refreshed. So now when I say join, new user, me. Yay. Okay. So now what I need to do is hey, wait. Need it all. Replace. Insert. Snow go back here. Come on, there we are. Insert. Insert new rows into the table. Because the player didn't exist before, we're inserting. Insert into table. Players. Twitch ID. Last. Chat. Yeah. It's like I don't really need it there until I get somewhere with all this, and nowhere with all this, so not nowhere, but you know. Some of my videos have had views. That's pretty cool. Might as well also put in the icon. Strange things happen when you're touch typing and your hands are off by 1. So insert into players, all that. Values. Go to quote, and that, and that. Username. I'm gonna no icon, just empty string. Last active. That's going to be interesting. We'll do this, that, plus, plus, and date. Dot now. I think that's right. Lowercase now. So that's last active. Chat count is going to be 0. Points is 0. Channel points is 0. And those are integers. So that should work just as commas. And then we're outside of the command, and that should work. And then we should be able to do that again. But this time, it should have some data to it. Yeah. Yeah. Looks like we're good here. Are we working? Working. Join. We didn't expect a response. And hey, look at that. It's got a new user. And then it's an array of one object that it returns. So the Twitch IDs, AlderinGames, the icon is nothing. The last active is, well, that number. Chats 0.0, channel 0.0. So now, if we join, we should get nothing because we haven't done anything. If if the player length is 0, we do stuff. Otherwise, we don't do stuff. But player is set at that point. So player is set here, player is set here. And so we received a player. So what we want to do, now that we've received the player, is I mean, there's 0 dot last active equals date dot now. So set their last active. Yeah, because we don't know if they're active or not until they join. So we're not going to track their chats or their score. They don't get, background points until they join. But then AlderinGames often let you return and collect a bunch of points. So before I set the last active, but idle time equal date dot now minus player dot last active dot to is it number? Will that just work? Date dot now returns the number of milliseconds elapsed. Okay. Okay, so if idle time equals idle time divided by 1000 seconds. Idle time equals idle time by 10 minutes. Player 0 dot score plus equals idle time math dot floor idle time at silly kitty. Meow. Meow. Mm. Mm. I have a happy kitty. Have to rearrange myself a little bit around the cat. But now there's a lap for the cat. There. Happy purring kitty in the lap. All right, so player 0 dot active equals data now. Hmm. Also have an active players, right? Didn't I set that? No, that was on the client side. I might want to also create an active players table. So I can tell whether or not somebody's active. Or maybe it's just once you join, you're in the list. And too bad. I think that might be how I run it. Just, oh, you're in the list. Okay, well, you're in the list now. Hey, I just thought of something. But I can't use it yet. Because there's a color. You can set your color. And so maybe I could set the neuron color, yeah, this here, uh, to be the same as your chosen chat color, uh, plus some amount of lighter color to make it look like it's getting brighter before it gets all of its power to gain a point. Hmm. Yeah, yeah, I think I like that. Um, so what's that last active? Uh, oh, I'm competing in stream time with Nova. That's no good. Well, I'll rate him with my one viewer, which is actually just me, and see what he thinks about that, you know, later. That might be hilarious. I don't know if I can even raid since I'm not of that level yet. I probably can't. I don't know. I don't even know how to raid. That's hilarious. Or something. Alright, whatever. Back to the code. So we give them the score from the time they've been gone. And we set the time that they're actually here because, well, that's why this is running in the first place. I might want to do that, like that whole section there, on a regular basis. Like on the server side, because right now there's no way for these numbers on the client to get into the server. So these are merely representations. I mean, if you refresh, they're gone. There's no points anymore. And once these charge all the way up, get to full power and get a point, boom, now there's a point. And no, it's not a clicker. I can't click it and make it happen. I'm gonna keep a 3-second slow mode on, but chatting will give you points. And I might have to fix the speed at which these grow to make it match what the server thinks is going to happen for points. That way, when the server updates the users, or when the client gets an update from the server, everything still matches. Meow. Silly kitty. At this point, I've added the score, I've updated active. We need to save that into the database. So, hey, wait. So place into table, column list, values, value list. Insert or replace it to. So don't need that part yet. What I need is that. But it's not username. It's player. I kept digging claws into me as cause for expulsion from the lab. Need to do that part. And then so it's so that date.now is last active. And then we have chat count. It's channel points. That way, it doesn't really matter what data we pulled from. Either we got the player data here, or we created the player data. Math.floor. And we dump it back in. Should return here. Because we just created it. We just filled it in. We don't need to then fix it, add score, and fill it back in again. So that should be good. Now we console log string 5 player. Do that at the end here as well. Name user. All right, so now we have a log. We still get our page. We still get our page. We still D20. We still D20. Join. What do we got? Returning user. Don't see new points though. I mean, that number's got to be different from the one we had before, right? Seriously? Was it really half an hour ago? Copy. So, wait. I'm still confused. Why is that the same? Said returning user. But right. Date that now. Oh. I replaced into, but I didn't actually set anything into the, that's why. So if I do it again, I should have points. I have no points. But the number changed. Why don't I have points? Maybe there's the... Let's try that. Just to see if my minus last active is working. Stop that. Going. Battle time. 76,181. Points. Channel points. Oh, I'm an idiot. It's not called score. It's called points. Hey, look. Now I have points. It's in the database. I have points. Okay. So if you join, you get points. And there's no leaving. You can't stop playing. Even if you never come back to my channel, you'll never stop playing this game. If you don't come back for years and then you finally come back, you have a whole bunch of points. Of course, the points are like the points in Whose Line Is It Anyway? They don't really matter. Yeah, they're like the cookies in Cookie Clicker. They don't matter. It's just for fun. Everything's just for fun here. Alright, so we've got the player showing up. It's in the database. We've got values in the database. We've got a new player. And now, get players will actually return something. It's down here, not logs. No, wait. Get active players and get players. So I have an online. Did I make online? I did. And all it has is a Twitch ID. Okay. Okay. Well, that just says if it's online or not. So when we join, where did it go? There we are. So maybe I should rename this to join player. So let's see. If I do it here, yeah, that won't matter. Hey, wait. Maybe I'll replace not into online. Which ID? Values. What's your name? Easy. Somehow I'm going to have a timer of some sort on the server side to remove players from being online after they've been gone for a certain amount of time. Twitch ID, method, and message. There you go. Twitch ID equals Twitch ID. So we got a chat count added, and we update the last active when the person chats. And that's going to be any chat, you know, whether it's a whisper to the bot or a chat in the channel. Actually, I'm going to limit it to chats in the channel. Okay, so when there's a chat, we log the message. We see if they added anybody, and we try to save who they added, because I kind of wanted to have like connections between the neuros that followed the at chats. So if you chat at somebody, it would do something between your neuro and their neuro on the screen. I thought that would be cool. And then, you know, it logs it. Otherwise, at user is going to be nothing, and then it's just empty. So after we log the chat into the database, we go and we pull the player from players. We set their last active. We update their chat count. I'm actually going to use that here. So it's player 0.last active. Actually, I should put that lower, and we can do some score stuff here. If player 0.last active if date.now minus player.last active is greater than actually that doesn't matter. I don't care what time it is. Player dot points equals date dot now minus last player 0.last active divided by 10,000. Math.floor. Yeah. So every not equals plus equals which means every 10 seconds. Yeah, I'm thinking this so that partial seconds won't apply, but parts of 10 seconds will. Which doesn't count for idle return or for long periods of time, but for the short periods of time, like if somebody's actively chatting continuously, this would count seconds. It wouldn't count parts of seconds, but it would count seconds. Yeah. Might actually even count parts of seconds. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's Fair. Nah, it would count seconds, but not parts of seconds. But because it's 10 seconds for a score. Anyway, we'll figure it out. I think it's at a fair rate. It should work. Okay, because this is points, not seconds. So if there's 2 seconds, you'd get 2/10ths of a point saved at this chat. Or if it was 5 seconds between chats, you'd get 0.5 points, and then you get another 0.5 points to actually get the points that you deserved. But if you're gone for an hour, the partial points don't really matter. That's how I feel about it, and I think that'll work. So you chat, it pulls your player from the player's database, and if you're there, you get points, you get your chat count. That's the other thing, though, is you're supposed to get points for chatting. Duh. Actually, keep your other points too, because you get points for chatting even though you've been idle for I mean, you could have been lurking for half an hour. It doesn't matter. You get the points. Yeah. And active is now. And put the new information into the database so that the client. Wait. What are you doing out here? Okay. And then yeah, so we put that into the database so the client can pull the information and update the view. Meanwhile, we also, when somebody chats, they're obviously online. I'm not, again, but I already have this, and it's quick. Where did I put it? did I put it? Right. There. But it's player 0 dot Twitch ID. So they're online. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to need to let the cat out. I'll be right back. And this is why I wanted something that told me when people were in the chat. Hi there, creative one. Yeah, it is a Twitch chatbot. It's actually running right now, although it's not doing anything. Not much anyway. I have the default silly little roll a d20 running, and that's part of it. So it is running and available. I use that kind of as a a nice critical success. So I don't know if you can hear the cat, but he definitely wants out. So I will be right back. But yeah, it's a Twitch bot, and the plan is the display down at the bottom, you know, is going to have these little Neuros. And it's basically going to be an idle game that, when you log in, you join and you chat, you get points. And I'm going to try to figure out a way you can spend those points on upgrades for your little Neuro, and maybe you can upgrade your Neuro to a cluster or a lobe or something. But yeah, I'll be right back. Just a couple minutes. Okay, time to continue on, but it looks like I lost my one viewer. Thanks, Cat. Well, I guess I'm not that interesting, really, on average. That's okay. I'm here for the fun of it. It's just more fun when there's people. It's like gambling. It's fun. It's more fun when you're winning. And it's so much more fun when you planned the money that you're spending. I don't really advocate gambling. I'm kind of over it. But I used to play craps, and, well, it's a lot more fun when you're winning. But, yeah, I feel like you can have more fun by buying other things other than sending money into one of those games. Though, that one time I won almost $500 in an evening. Like, I left the table with nearly $500 more than I got to the table with. That was fun. I have not had a repeat of that, and I don't really have the money to do such things on a regular basis yet. Maybe someday. I was just looking at the emotes that Creative One left, and the emotes raw, emotes v2 underscore, and that's a heck of a ID. It's Be Late to Pray, and then Semi's P2 Pop. Pop, 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 pop. Anyway, that's cool. All right, where was I? Excuse me. Ugh. So I've got these guys. We're filling in our online table. Get active players. Should be able to return star from online. What I need to do is plug Ajax into the client side of this system. And I should probably look up what modern Ajax looks like, because, like I said, I learned JavaScript before these things existed. So, JavaScript get data from API. Using the fetch API. Provides a JavaScript interface for accessing and manipulating parts of the HTTP pipeline, such as requests and responses. This provides global fetch method, provides easy, logical way. Yes. Was previously the XML HTTP request, but it's better. Cores and extensions. That is cores. Cross origin resource sharing. Aha. Yes. Previously known as cross-site scripting. That's another problem for me. There is so much that I don't. There's so much that yeah, I've kept up with, but then if I like let some of these skills slide, when I go back to remembering things, I remember all of it. All the old ways and many of the new ways, and it gets really confusing. Even though it's the same language, it's a little frustrating. I'll be honest, it's a little frustrating. So, I hope Creative One's having a good night. So, fetch differs from jQuery.ajax. The promise returned from fetch won't reject on HTTP error status, even if the response is an error. OK property of the response set to false. Fetching a JSON file, which in our case is going to be just JSON data. Okay. So let's go into the pages, index. Almost forgot to put the dendries in. All right. So if I make a function, all right, so I'm indented from script, I see. So function it server update. And then what we want to do is fetch something. What do we call it? Online players. Then I'm just going to open that over here. Response. Response.json. Good. And this is a dot then, and then dot then data console.log data. Dot JSON dot. Dang it, I have this somewhere. Stringify. Not there. There. That. All right. So let's go over here. We'll refresh. Oh, fail. Why fail? Syntax error missing after argument list. Wait. But where? Wait, fetch. Is that done? You're good. Oh. That. Got it. Okay. That should fix it. Try this again. There we are. Got our sparklies. If we get online, what did I call it? Get server update. I'm so scatterbrained sometimes. Online players not found. Which I should have expected, because I don't have anything in here that says online players. I've got a reset. I've got logs. I've got root. And that's it. Well, also root. I've got a root for get and post. Get logs. So let me see if I can get a sync think I can just say apply that status. Where's status come from? Status equals params failed. Okay, so params we will start here. But we actually don't care about the SEO stuff because we're always going to be JSON. We're always being basically raw. So we don't care. So list query raw equals so params was that, but we're also going to say request dot query query dot is true. And then params dot online players equals hey wait db dot all, or was it db dot okay, db dot get, wait, did we make that? Yes, get active players. Copy. Back here. Paste. Do. Boo. And then we should be able to I'll copy this. Online players. Data.error message. Yeah. We don't need to do that or that. And then status. That's interesting. I mean, we check the admin key up here, which I'm not doing, but in this example code, they check the admin key up here, then they, they say auth fail, they set params failed, and they still get the logs, but they don't clear the history, right? But if the authentication works, it clears the history. And if there's an error, it sets params.error, but it doesn't say it failed. Oh, but I guess that's because it's an auth failure, which we don't care about. So status is 200. So what I need is request.query.raw. Oh, right. That's just Boolean, so I need this. There. And the status is 200. Send params. Okay. What's wrong? Why? That's why. That should fix it. Okay, so if we get online players, and we should actually be able to just do that here. Get just online players. Look at that. Error? No. Which ID? AlderinGames. There we go. So I should be able to grab this and use it to put names under the neuros. So that here, it won't be user 1, it'll be person who joined. But I need to refresh. Online players is an array. So if we come back here, go into our client code, here. And this little guy. Online players equals data dot online players. And now from here, the refresh. Dendries is not defined. Okay. It didn't like my adjustment there because Dendry or Dendries equals an array of nothing. There. That should fix it. And we've got our sparkles back. And server update. Oh, data is not defined. But the dot then stuff kind of confuses me sometimes, not gonna lie. I think that'll fix it though. Yep, that worked. All right. Let's see what else I can do. So I've got that. I can get the online players. It should get that regularly, but definitely not every tick. That's stupid. So what I should do is in it, need to window.set interval. What did I call that function? Get server update. Those are millisecond. I need seconds. So that's 1 second, which is still too often. 3 seconds is too often. Ten seconds is probably about right. But the online players is not the only data I want. I want the players as well. It's basically the online players array only tells us if somebody from the player list is online or not. Those little guys on the OBS thing at the bottom of the stream, they've been running for a while. I should probably reset them. But since there's nothing exciting in the code yet, maybe I'll just let them run. Alright, so hold that over here. The other thing that we want to get from the server regularly is player data, right? What I can do is that. To make a function basically that has data already filled in. And what I need to do is kind of collaborate between the client set of Neros, you know, what the Neros have for their names and their points and everything, and make it match what the server just sent to us with the names and the points and everything. And I think I can do that, but after a bathroom break. I'll be right back. Cause and effect. I hydrated, and therefore I had to go. Alright. So what I want to do is refresh. With player data server. So now I need to actually what I should do is put the function into the neuro, because that's where all the info is. The name, the points. I don't know if I even used ID. I mean, I guess the Twitch ID. Oh, wait, do I even save? Do I even save the display name? Don't think I do. I forgot to close the door. Be right back. Okay. So what I've got is in players, got the Twitch username, the icon, that's active counter. That is a mistake. And that is something I need to fix. Display name, text. And that's going to cause all sorts of things I need to fix. Like here. I need to I don't think I need it in the log, but I do need it here. We add it online. This is still very much lacking, because join has all the data that we, well, not all of it. I mean, we just need to add display name, Casey. Did I do it before or after icon? Dang it. Display name, then icon. Yeah. Yeah, okay. And then down here, also need that. Then when I call join player, here, username, context, the logs. No, I can just look up here. Display dash name. Which is why it has to be in quotes. New player. db.newPlayer. It's not called that anymore. I said join player. Yeah, that should cover that. Except I need to wipe the database. Did. That was easy. Let's see if our D20 still works. Yep. And my rolls still suck. And then we'll see what joint does. Ooh. Um, Attempt to write a read-only database. I forget how I fixed this last time. Well, there's that. It didn't create the database. Why didn't it create the database? My brain is shutting down. Can't leave it here. It's clear. Never run their debugger before. Copy. Paste and go. That didn't help at all. Oh. Okay. I'll have to look into that more deeply later. If not exists. Log creating database. logged the chat, right? Join. Huh. So all I had to do was be confused for a few minutes. All right, whatever. Twitch ID. Display name. Look at that. I got a display name. So now, if I refresh here, and I get server update, player data. Oh, because wait. No, there shouldn't be 404. Because over here, get player data command. No, it's not a command. It's up here in the. Yeah, logs, online players. So it should be. Wait, why does it say player data? I said online players. What? Oh, because it didn't make player data yet. That's fine. Okay, it's player data. Let's get players. Let's look here again. Just get players. Select star from players. Send it all. So here, DB to get players. Let me just say this is players. And this is players. And that should cover it. Now you don't have any issues. But wait. No, that's fine. Okay. One more spot to fix is in here. We get player data. So now we have it. What I want to do is console.log JSON.string if by data.players. Right? I think that works. Huh. It works. Because it's calling it every 10 seconds. That's the one player we've got. Now, if only I had some people to log in and play. Well, I can log in as my Twitch bot. Log in as the bot. And then I can and now there's 2. So now the data contains 2 users. Nobody has any score. But it's not broken. I should fix things so that the timing of the count matches the amount of seconds in the server, and then instead of having these 2 static things pop up out of nowhere, the Neuros should show up according to the players in the player list and the online players. Yep. But I think that's where I'm going to call it a night. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for watching. If you've watched it in the future, hope it was fun. Hope it was, something that you want to come back for. If not, I did open a thing on my Twitch channel to leave comments and suggestions, or at least suggestions. So feel free. Still learning all this Twitch stuff. But yeah, of course I got distracted with making a bot in a game, and well, anyway. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you next time. Have fun. I'll see you later.